am Shakia Mayer. I am an empowerment and personal development coach for professional millennial women, and I help women lead meaningful and purposeful lives through personal growth. I am also a speaker and future published author, and some other things as well, but we'll get into that maybe a little later. So, the topic for tonight is I want you to remember these three things, not 5, not 10, not 12, three things I want you to remember, and I want you to make sure you take heed before you enter 2018. Okay, three things I want you to remember. The first is have a vision. Have a vision for your life. So in order to accomplish your goals, you need to know, well, what is the goal? You need to know, where do you see yourself and what is it that you want for your life? If you don't have a vision, it's going to be very difficult for you to accomplish what you to make the life that you want. So you might have an idea of the type of life that you want. It's going to be hard to get there if you don't have a clear vision. And part of that vision would be to have the goals, because you need goals in order to make the vision come to pass, right? The goals will help you to have the action steps in order to see the vision through. So have a clear vision for your life. Now, am I saying that everything needs to be mapped out? Everything needs to go according to some sort of plan. Everything needs to go a certain way. No, because that's so unrealistic, right? You ever had a situation, and I remember growing up where I was that kid where I would have a plan and I'd be like, no, it has to go this way. And when it didn't, I'd be so mad and I'd be like, oh my God, I don't understand. What are we gonna do? And I would just like worry. And my mom would be like, chill. And she would say, like, you're worrying about things that you can't control. And so I had to learn, sometimes even when we have a plan, especially if you believe in a higher power or the universe, whatever you want to call it, if you have a plan, sometimes it's not in alignment with maybe the bigger plan for your life. So you gotta be open to the possibility that there are going to be some unexpected things to happen, and there are going to be some moments where you veer off a little, right? Where you don't follow this exact plan, which is fine. So the whole idea is, while I want you to have a vision for your life, this is a blueprint. This is knowing where you see yourself, okay? This is knowing what you want from your life, what you want out of your life. But in order to do that, you have to know who you are. And a lot of people don't. And they think they know, or what happens is they start to believe the facade they put on, so that surface self, that self that they present to everybody else, that self that they start to train themselves to actually believe is the truth about themselves. That's that surface self. And that surface self is not going to help you with your vision, because you're not being truthful for you. So I don't want to go off on a tangent, because I will. But that's something that I want you to keep in mind, right? Okay, so let me just recap that really quickly. So number one is have a vision. Have a vision. Know what it is that you want out of your life. Also, while you have this vision, while you know what you want, be prepared that things may change. Be prepared that there are going to be some unexpected things to happen, and know that that is okay. And you have to know how to be resilient, to still put one foot in front of the other, even when things don't go according to plan. Have a vision. If you have a vision, you know where you're going, and you're not easily distracted or put on so many detours all the time, because you're like, oh my God, right? Like shiny object syndrome. Gotta go here, gotta do this, gotta do that. Have a vision. Number two, which connects directly with number one. Number two, sometimes you have to do a little more than what you're doing. So the second thing is, do a little more. So if that means you are in a situation where maybe, it's extremely challenging, and you are working on overcoming this situation, getting through this situation, and you have faith. But maybe your faith, is wavering. Maybe your faith wavers sometimes. So have a little more faith. What is it that you need to do in order to have a little more faith? Maybe you are in a situation where you're in you're in a job, you don't like the job, and so if I ask you, okay, if I ask you, what's your next step? What do you plan to do? And you say, well, I don't know. One, that means your vision is not clear, so your goals are not clear. So you feel scattered and you're all over the place. But two, that also means you're not going to do that extra step. You're not going to do that extra thing in order to better that situation. Does that make sense? So do a little more than what you're doing. And in order for you to do a little more than what you're doing, that means you're going to have to step outside of your comfort zone. And what I like to say is, okay, you have a comfort zone. And now if you want to get to your next level, if you want to elevate to your next level, now you need to form a new comfort zone. But in order for you to form a new comfort zone, you got to step out a little. You got to do something that maybe you are afraid to do. You got to do something that scares you. You got to do something that maybe you don't even feel all that prepared to do, right? That you don't feel this is the perfect time to do. Do it anyway. There is no perfect time. Do it anyway. When you start to step outside of your comfort zone so that you can get to your next step, that's when the shift happens. That's when the big thing happens in your life. That's when your breakthrough happens. And I was saying, and I said this on the broadcast that I did, that I had to delete earlier. So if you watched earlier, one, thanks for watching, and thanks for watching again. But the story will sound a little similar. Not a little. The story will sound the same. So I was on the phone last night with two people, and we were talking, and somebody, I can't recall who, but one of the girls said, sometimes out of your mess, that's when the shift starts to happen, or something like that. It's not verbatim. And as she said it, I was thinking, this is interesting because that's what I tell people. That's what I tell people. I say that when it feels like the chaos is happening, when your life is so chaotic, when it feels so overwhelming, when it feels like everything is happening all at once, be prepared for the shift to take place, because it will. Everything is temporary. So your pain is even temporary. Your pain won't last forever. So everything that you're experiencing is temporary. So be prepared for the shift. But in order to be prepared for the shift, that means you have to step outside of yourself and do a little more so that you can be prepared. Does that make sense? You can't be prepared for the shift if you fall down because of tough times. You can't be prepared for the shift if you go and lock yourself in a little box because you're experiencing some difficulty. You can't be prepared for the shift if you start to lose your faith because you're experiencing some difficulty. See, that type of mindset, that type of thinking will keep you stuck, and it'll keep you stuck right where you are. So you'll be wondering, well, when is the shift going to happen? When is the change going to take place? Man, I've been going through this for the last 6 months. I've been going through this for the last year. I've been going through this for the last 5 years. When is the shift going to take place? Go back to you. Sometimes you are the reason why the shift isn't taking place. So you are literally standing in your own way. Why? Because you keep doing the same thing, and you're not doing a little more, or you're not changing up the strategy a bit so that you can experience the shift. Does that make sense? So you have to do a little more than what you are doing in order to get your breakthrough sometimes. You also might have to change up the strategy a little bit so that you can get your breakthrough sometimes. Change up the strategy so that you can experience the shift in your life. And I keep trying to enunciate the word shift because I don't want to slip up and cuss and say something else. So if you're wondering why I'm saying it like that, it's just because I don't want to curse. But yes, I want you to know that you have to do a little bit more in order to get where you want to go. Again, I just want to welcome everybody who's watching live and on the replay. Let me know who you are and where you are watching from, and if anything in this clip resonates with you. So before I went live, I turned on my heat because I was cold, and now it's still on, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm melting. So bear with me. Because I'm literally so hot. But anyway, so the first thing that I want you to remember, have a clear vision for your life. The second thing is to do a little more than what you, are doing. The third thing I want you to remember is you have to be committed. Commitment is key. Commitment, consistency, key. If you are not committed and consistently committed, then it's going to be challenging. And let me back up. Committed to your goals. So remember, the goals are like your action steps in order to have your vision come to pass. But if you are not consistently committed to the goals, to working on the goals, right? Because we don't want to just set goals, we want to achieve goals. If you're not committed to goal achievement, it is going to be very difficult for you to have your vision come to pass, for you to be the person who you want to become, for you to live out the life that you want, for you to go after everything you want. It is going to be difficult because at the moment of trouble, you will call defeat. At the moment of difficulty, you stop. At the moment of a challenge, you give in. At the moment of a setback, you stop. You stay stuck. And so if you have that type of mindset and that's what you're doing, and you're not consistently committed to working out your goals, you're not consistently committed to achieving your goals, you can't have your breakthrough. You won't have your shift. You won't have your comeback, because you'll stay stuck where you are, because you're not going to do a little bit more, because you give in. Right? And so you allow your vision to then change, and your vision to go in all these different directions, and then you start to feel lost. And on the inside, you're like, I don't know what's happening. And I feel like I'm being pulled in all these different directions, and I feel like I have no idea what it is I'm doing. And it's because you don't. You don't. So you want to be consistently committed to achieving your goals, even when there's a setback, even when there's difficulty, even when there's a challenge. Oh, the heat just went off. Thank goodness. Even when there's a challenge, you want to be consistently committed to goal achievement. If you don't achieve any goals, what will you accomplish? Right? And so for some of you, it is tomorrow is November 1st, right? So tomorrow will be November 1st, and you'll be in the month of November of 2017. And I think I asked this question in my previous broadcast, which was, how many of you have goals that you set for 2017 that you're going to enter into 2018 with those same goals? You're going to have those same goals on your agenda. You're going to have those same items on your to-do list that you had at the start of 2017. So instead of having this, cycle of not achieving the goals, not accomplishing the goals, be consistently committed to doing them, to achieving them by any means necessary. But first, you got to have a clear vision. You have to know what it is you're going after, so that you also know why you're going after it. You have to do a little bit more of what it is that you are doing, and sometimes that might mean change up the strategy a little bit. Change up the strategy. You can't keep doing the same thing and expect a different result, right? It's so cliche at this point, but it's the truth. And also, if you're not doing anything, you can't expect a different result. If nothing changes, nothing changes. If you're not doing anything, how will something be accomplished? You can't say, I want to have $1,000,000, but you're not willing to put in the work that's required in order to have $1,000,000. You can't say you want to buy a house, but you're not willing to put in the work to do what's required in order for you to buy a house. You want to buy a house, there's steps involved, right? You have to know how much you qualify for. You have to know what your budget is. There are so many steps involved in purchasing a home, but if you don't do any of those steps, how do you then purchase the home? So this is the same thing for your life. This is the same thing for personal development. You can't get your mindset right. You can't achieve what you want to achieve. You can't live the life that you want to live if you're not willing to do the work. If you're not willing to put in the time and effort that's needed, that's required, so that change can happen, so that your breakthrough can happen, so that a shift can happen, so that your comeback can happen. If you don't put it in, who's going to do it for you? I can't do it for you. Your mother, your father, your sister, your kids, nobody else can do it for you. You have to be committed to doing the work. So these are the 3 things that I want you to remember, and I want you to start to really work on before we enter 2018. Before we enter 2018. So that when 2018 rolls around, you have a blueprint. You have a plan for what it is that you want to accomplish, and it's not going to be just the repeat goals. You're now on, I want you to be on to your next level, because if we're talking about you living out your wildest dreams, if we're talking about you living your life with meaning and purpose and living up to your full potential, that means you need to keep having new goals to elevate you. If you are still trying to accomplish goal 1 for the last 5 years, where's that elevation? Where? You know, and this is not me like pointing the finger or coming down on you. Absolutely not. This is that moment where it's like, knock, 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 wake up. Let's do what you need to do in order for you to get to where you want to go. Now, last week I mentioned my 3-day intensive, and so I want to mention it again. Which is a 3-day intensive. It's an individual. Let me back up. 3-day intensive, okay? And what does that mean? That means we're going to spend a lot of time together. And in the course of 3 days, we're going to do a whole lot of work. What does that mean? We're going to get you clear on your vision, on your goals, and also clear on knowing who you are. So you're going to get reconnected with who you are. You're going to work on developing confidence, and also work on developing your growth mindset. You're going to develop your individualized self-care routine. You're going to work on not only setting goals, not only listing the goals, but actually implementing the goals. So that's that goal achievement place. That's you taking control of your life through the actions that you start to take. You can't take control of your life if you don't do anything, because then you become a passive person in your life. You become that person where things just happen to them, right? Things just happen. Things happen to you. You know? And so you don't want to do that. I want you to be the driver of your own life. So if you want this shift to happen in your life, if you want to come up out of the situation that you're in, again, put in the work. So let's get you clear on your vision. Let's get you confident about who you are and confident that you can, in fact, achieve the goals. And then let's get you working on achieving the goals. This is all in a matter of 3 days. So this is no excuse. You can't say it's too long. You can't say, you didn't have support. You can't say you didn't know what to do. It will literally be laid out for you. The blueprint of what you need to do will be laid out, and we'll work together to fill in the gaps. A 3-day intensive. 3 days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 3 days, each day, an hour and a half. And in that time span, amazing things can take place. Trust me, amazing things can take place. 3 days. So remember, I talked about being consistently committed. This is one of those moments where you can start to work on your commitment to yourself. This is the moment for you to work on getting you together so that you can, in fact, live out your wildest dreams. This is the moment where you can work on getting you together, work on your personal development, work on your mindset, work on your inner you, so that you can live out or live up to your full potential. This is the moment where you start to put the steps in place so that you live a meaningful and purposeful life. 3 days. 3 days. So if you are interested, there's no fancy sign up. All you need to do is message me. Message me. And then we'll talk and we'll take it from there. 3 days for you to become the courageous chick I know you are. For you to have your clear vision, your clear goals, for you to be confident about achieving those goals, and for you to actually start working on achieving the goals. A courageous chick is a confident chick. A courageous chick is a go-getter. And this is what I want for you, by any means necessary. So let's make that happen. Let me know if you do have any questions. I will double check let me just refresh. I'll double check to see if there are any questions. Let me know if you have any questions, any comments. If anything in this post resonated with you, let me know. Again, I do see that we have live viewers, so don't hesitate to let me know who you are and where you are. Don't hesitate to let me know who you are and where you are watching from. I want to connect, and so let's keep connecting. But remember, a 3-day intensive. So if you don't want to enter 2018 the same way you entered 2017, let's make it happen. If you are ready for your shift, if you are ready for your comeback, if you are ready for your breakthrough, let's make it happen. You don't have to enter 2018 with the same mess and the same baggage that you entered 2017 with. There's no excuse. There's absolutely no excuse. So stop, self-sabotaging and talking yourself out of it. Stop hesitating. Stop trying to figure out what you can, keep doing on your own, the same thing that you've been doing, and expecting something different to happen. Stop. Allow somebody else to come in and help you through the process. It'll be less painful than you continuing to do what it is that you are doing. 3 days, guys. 3 days. If you are interested, like I said, all you have to do is message me. Now, here's the thing, really quickly before I log off, because I am going to log off in a quick minute. If you message me, I want people to message me who are serious about it, okay? Serious about their personal development, serious about living a life of meaning, purpose, and living up to their full potential. I want people who are willing to be committed to these 3 days. And committed not just to these 3 days, not to work with me, but committed to themselves. Commit enough to yourself, believe enough in yourself to invest in yourself. Okay? Sometimes you got to do a little more, right? That's what I said. So sometimes doing a little more means, again, stepping outside of your comfort zone. So it's fine. If you've never worked with a coach before, if you've never worked with a therapist before, that's fine. Sometimes doing a little more means stepping outside of your comfort zone. So if this feels a little uncomfortable, good. That's when the shift starts to happen. If you're like, I don't know, I've been watching her videos, I look out for her posts, it sounds like she knows what she's doing, but then you start talking yourself out of it. This is how you stay stuck where you are. This is how you don't progress. This is how you don't live the life that you want. This is how you stay in that job that you can't stand. This is how you stay in that relationship that you've outgrown. This is exactly how. So no more. Let's not do this another year. Let's not. If you feel called, if you feel moved, message me. That's all I'm going to say is message me. So, with that said, everybody, again, I just want to thank you all so much for taking the time out to spend a few moments with me. Again, the three things I want you, the three things I want you to remember is to have a vision, do more than what you are used to doing, and be consistently committed to your goals. Also, stay tuned because I'm probably going to be announcing some things that I'm super excited about. I said before that I was involved or that I'm expanding my business in different ways. And so I'm going to let you in on what I'm doing because not many people know, but it's time for the world to know what I'm doing. So be on the lookout for that. In the meantime, be consistently committed to achieving your goals and having a vision and doing a little more than what you are used to. Be committed to you and your happiness and your growth. Be the courageous chick I know you are. Let's make it happen. This is a movement, people. This is a movement. No more misery. No more mediocrity. No more. We are leading that in 2017. All right? So that's all I have for you this evening. I hope that you all enjoy the rest of your night. And if you did take your kids or nieces, nephews, whomever out trick-or-treating, make sure you don't eat up all their candy. Because I tell you, I was almost going to take my niece's full little bucket. Because I was like, oh my God, she got some good stuff this year. They got full-size Snickers. I was like, what? So enjoy the rest of your night. Again, thank you so much for taking the time out to spend a few moments with me. I hope I said something that resonated with you. If you feel moved, if you feel connected to anything that was said in this broadcast, make sure you absolutely message me. If you are ready to live a life of your dreams, if you are ready to live up to your full potential, if you are ready to become the woman who you have always wanted to become, make sure you, in fact, message me. Make sure you sign up for this 3-day intensive. That's all it is 3 days. Make sure you sign up. I'm only taking a limited number of people. That's for a fact. So make sure you sign up. I'm going to close the doors real soon. I'll probably do another video about it tomorrow. But if you feel moved, and maybe if you do have any questions, message me. Let me know. Or ask me the questions rather, and I will do my best to give you some answers. And so yeah, that's all I have for tonight. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we will talk tomorrow. Bye.